Hey, Bill O'Reilly here, and this is the Talking Points Memo. You might have missed it because it was underreported, but last week something very, very troubling happened. And it concerns two senators who are both running for president, Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. So last week was the 5th anniversary of the terrible shooting in Ferguson, Missouri, where a black man was shot to death. And there was all kinds of accusations about the police officer killing Michael Brown that turned out not to be true. You remember the hands up, don't shoot stuff and all that. It was a media disgrace. And in the end, the Justice Department, under Eric Holder, one of the most liberal attorney generals in the history of this country, exonerated the police officer, even though he had to leave the force, and said there was no racial motive in this at all, that Mr. Brown himself was very aggressive and the officer was being physically attacked by Mr. Brown and the shooting was justified. This is the federal government's investigation. Now, put the story to rest until Kamala Harris said last week, quote, Michael Brown's murder forever changed Ferguson and America. Soon after that, Elizabeth Warren tweeted, 5 years ago, Michael Brown was murdered by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri. Okay. Now, this is a pattern of behavior from these two. You'll remember both of them convicted Brett Kavanaugh in his hearings, and based upon no evidence whatsoever. And subsequently, after the Senate vote that put Judge Kavanaugh into the Supreme Court, the FBI went in heavy, found nothing. Nothing. Everybody knows that. All right? It's on the record. FBI is the best criminal investigative agency in the world. Found nothing. Yet Harris and Warren convicted Judge Kavanaugh and told the world that he was guilty. Now, man has family, man has 2 daughters. I mean, this is just beyond the pale. And now they're back telling the nation Michael Brown was murdered. These two people want to be president of the United States. Now, this isn't a partisan play. I don't like partisan analysis. I find it dull. When I turn on the television or read a newspaper or whatever, and I see a certain person who I know is always going to take the side of a party no matter what, I don't even bother. Turn it off or I don't read it. I don't like that. This is an American issue, not a party issue. We have two people running for president, all right, who basically say due process doesn't exist. That if I think you're guilty, all right, that me, Kamala Harris, or me, Elizabeth Warren, if I think you're guilty, you're guilty. And I don't even care if an investigation shows you're not guilty. I don't even care about that because I know that murder was committed in Ferguson, Missouri. Not only is this absurd and should be disqualifying for both of these women, they shouldn't even get one vote from anybody because of what they've done with Kavanaugh and now the late Michael Brown. It is an incredible occurrence that they have not even been criticized by the media. I haven't seen anything in the national media as far as non-ideological is concerned. I mean, they're all ideological now, we all know that, but the newspapers, the Associated Press, no. You can now get away with anything. Anything. It's really disturbing the depth of the deterioration of our constitutional rights in America. The most important right you have, all right, outside of freedom of speech, is due process. Because if you don't have due process, anybody can accuse you and you're guilty. And that can ruin your life in a heartbeat. If Kavanaugh was voted down by the Senate, remember, it's only one vote, his whole life was over. Always in the shadow of it. So The point of this Talking Points memo is to alert you, a fair-minded person, I hope you are, this danger in this presidential election, real danger. Warren and Harris have no use for the Constitution at all. And they have proven it now, twice, beyond any reasonable doubt. That's a memo. I'm Bill O'Reilly for Newsmax. Please go to BillO'Reilly.com for more honest, fact-based commentary. We'll see you soon.